Welcome back. Nollywood industry, that's what we're looking at. Nigeria's film industry is huge in productivity and reach. I mean, what was that? Living in Bondage. I mean, that was amongst the first movies we watched. Living in Bondage, Rattlesnake, Naked, is it Naked the Pretty Serpent or something?
Yeah.
These are some of the names back then. And then, right now it's valued at about $5 billion as at 2014. The world's second largest film industry holds a lot of promise. You know, now, with the main barrier to future growth being the industry's informal distribution network. That's what a lot of people say. Some will argue that it struggles toward its triumph. It struggles towards its triumph.
The industry has moved forward,
but it still has a
lot of
weight,
baggage.
A lot of baggage. Okay, but to help us look at the Nigeria's movie industry is a player in the industry. Mahmoud Ali Balogun is a movie director. Thank you for joining us.
A pleasure.
Okay, Mr. Ali Balogun, you're there.
Yeah.
You know the industry.
I do.
Okay, so tell us, what makes the Nigerian movie industry unique?
Well, that's a loaded question. Not beating about the bush, what makes it unique is that it's very original, right? It's not afraid to take on any topic. And it's by us, without any influence from without, right? And the uniqueness is that it's for our people, internally and outside. And to a large extent also, it's for those in diaspora. You know, and with what is happening recently, the Europeans are beginning to appreciate us. The Westerns are beginning to appreciate us. So we're just beginning to emerge.
You know, when we came out, some would say we're not making movies, we're making home videos. Have we started making movies now and not home videos?
Yeah, you see,
those who talk about the difference between movies and home videos.
You see, we're talking about motion picture here, and what we're looking at is that, you see, those who define what you call a movie, a film, where it originated from, right, did not take into perspective our Africanness in determining what a film is globally, right? The Western world, they have their perspective of what film should be. And when we were all in school, film is motion picture, right? And what we do in Nigeria is motion picture. Yes, you might say in terms of values, production values, properties, cultural properties, and that, there are differences. But in terms of the essence of it, we're doing the same thing, right? We're producing movies that are in motion.
Okay.
I get what I'm saying. So this idea we're doing home video.
Let's look at the.
Right.
Okay, I agree with you,
right.
And so I'm sure some other people also agree. But let's look at the technical side of it, the content that we put into our movies. In terms of props, you mentioned properties, you mentioned how we do it. So let's look at the content, continuity, character development, dialogue.
And some people have said that Nigerian movies are 1 week kind of production.
But the time is not really it these days, in the sense that you have facilities that help you. Once you get your pre-production right, you get your script right, and you have everything set, you can shoot within weeks. So you see, what we had in the past when we were struggling to take off, we've gone beyond that level years back. The kind of movies that we have today that are grossing millions. I mean, just this week, The Wedding Party, right? The film by a tripartite of Ebony Life, Film House, and Koga Studios has grossed 66 million in 1 week. 66 million naira. It's never happened before, right? All these things you mentioned as production values, that's what we'll call them, are beginning to change. What we used to have were just anybody. We have scriptwriters now who are honing their skills. You have technicians. You have even producers have upped their game. Again, I'm saying, hence our films being showcased at the Toronto International Film Festival this year, right? It's not to say we are there yet, but to say that, look, things are changing. The sun is beginning to shine, or it's already shining in other parts of the world where they're making film. Okay. Not only in Europe.
We'll take a moment, and when we come back, there's this argument, well, I was having with a couple of people who said when you watch Nigerian movies, it's as if
you know where it's going to end. You know, the beginning.
And your intellect drops.
It's changed.
Okay. We'll come back. You need to explain how that has changed. Please don't go away. Welcome back. Okay, so Mr. Alibalu, before we went on the break, I asked you something about an argument I was having with someone where he says you watch Nigerian movies, your intellect drops. And this was his point of view. He says, why do I have to see you? You're walking to the door. We see you walk to the door. You open the door. We see you walk all the way, walk like maybe almost 100 meters. We see you. No, we're not seeing any. We're just seeing you walking. No action.
And it's not like anything is supposed to happen to you along
and
the
then
way.
We see you walk to a chair. You sit down, and you're waiting.
And then you waste our
what
time
do you call
watching
that thing on air? Where it's still air, and you're just there.
Air. Yeah. Right. You see what I say. You see, one thing the audience need to understand is that, look, all manner of films are being bandied as. There's some movies that shouldn't even get on air. I want to tell you that. There's some movies that shouldn't go to the cinema. But that is not saying there's
not just cinema, because right now some of those movies show, some of the Nollywood movies